What up, Bucks fans? We are back. It is Real Bucs Talk. We are live here on YouTube, our YouTube channel. Much appreciated to you guys. You guys are giving us a lot of support. So we thought we'd do a live stream on a Wednesday. It's a little different time. Surprise. We are back, and the off season is well underway. And unfortunately, last I think what was it last week? Yeah, last week
Mhm.
we found out the news that Tom Brady has retired. Obviously, that's the big elephant in the room for this franchise, the Bucks franchise going forward. The GOAT has officially called it a career. But with that said, I'm your host, Michael Plus, joined as always by co-host Mark Ramirez, and it's been it's been a tough week for Bucks fans, or at least over the last week. Obviously the tough loss to the Rams, and then the news that Tom Brady has hung it up.
Yeah, I mean, guys, bring your questions or concerns or whatever you want in the chat. But I mean, everyone kind of knew Tom Brady. There was going to be a time where, I mean, what else did he have to break? He broke records every day, every game he played in. There's nothing else to do it. Everyone's chasing after him. So it was him deciding himself. And people blamed Giselle. Hey, the guy had nothing else to prove. He had done it with another team that he chose. As a Buck fan, I'm grateful for what he did for our franchise, bringing us another championship. I mean, everything was good. 2 years of competitive nature at the elite level. I mean, we
Right.
thought we could have even went there this year. To be honest, we probably should have been, because I think we would have beaten the 49ers. We should have beaten the Rams, and we could be champions again. But and at the end of the day, Tom Brady signed a 2-year deal, and he extended it last year just to
Mm,
get the money down the road. I think he, in his own head, knew it was gonna be 2 years, and that was it. So, other than that,
yeah.
thank you, Tom Brady. You were great in the city. I hope you appreciated the city itself. It looked like he had a hell of a time here, but other than
Mhm.
that, we're moving on as Buccaneers, and Tom Brady, enjoy retirement.
Yeah, no, I echo those sentiments fully. He did what came in here to do, and that's win a championship. He got that for us, so we're forever grateful for that 2020 championship. You can't take that away. That's always going to be there. And then this year, I mean, he brought us to the divisional round again. Another great season, 13 wins, a franchise record. He broke all the records he had. Going into this season. So, like you said, yeah, he accomplished a lot. He did what he set out to do. I mean, 7 Super Bowl rings.
Yeah,
No one's, I mean, probably no one's going to come close to that. Um, so I mean, it's very impressive, and now he gets to be with his kids and you know take on that next chapter, Brady brand, and being a dad as well. I think that's pretty cool.
yeah, he's 44 and he doesn't have any major injuries besides that ACL.
Right.
Take it. I'll take that and enjoy my life. Everyone knows who the hell I am now.
Hmm.
Call it from the other side. But and then this is Bud Campbell saying, and when Tom leaves, Gronk will follow. Hey fellas, eh, to me, I honestly think that's the truth. I think Gronk's like, oh well, I gave him 2 more years with my boy. I don't need anything else. Like
Yeah.
last time we saw him, he was retiring because of concussions. Tom Brady called him back. I highly doubt Gronk comes back. That's just me. What do you think?
No, I'm kind of there with you. I think he might wait a little bit longer. He might, wait and see what the team's doing, where their direction is, and if he's going to be a fit, going forward for the franchise. Maybe he comes back, but most likely, I'm with you. I think he wants to, move in a different direction. And obviously, Tom was his quarterback for all his career, and when you look at it that way, and plus his injuries, his body's probably, it's taken a big toll. And I think he's ready for that next chapter as well.
That's another thing. Like you just said, is he going to fit in the next scheme?
Mm,
First of all, we don't know who our quarterback is right now. The only quarterback on the roster is Cal Trask. I mean, we like some of his film coming out of Florida, but still, he's going to be a rookie
yeah,
playing, first time playing in the NFL. That's not going to sit well with Gronkowski. And then even if someone else does come in, Tom Brady was his boy. That's why he got the ball.
yeah.
I mean, supposedly we don't pass the tight ends. Tom Brady made that a point to pass to the tight end because that's
Mhm.
his best player. So
Yeah, and Gronk was on the top of his game. I don't think he's in
at all.
any shape to you know, he should retire. Like, I'm not saying he should retire.
Mhm.
Like, he could continue to play and play at a very high level. He's a very good player, and the Bucks would. Jason Light came out and said they would welcome him back with open arms, and I think all the fans would as well. He's a heck of a talent. So yeah, obviously, if he
Mhm.
wants to come back, that would be great to have him. But when you look at it, right now it's leaning towards he'll walk away. But just have to wait and see on that, and see what this team's going to do going forward.
And the funny rumors of him liking Joe Burrow now.
Hey, I mean, there's nothing wrong with
Uh,
liking Joe Burrow. I mean, that guy's a stud, and I hope he has a hell of a game this Sunday. Uh, that should be a very entertaining Super Bowl coming up.
yeah, I hope he dominates. Let's be honest about that. But actually, this will slowly go into what we're talking about. Why do we keep hearing or test driving these rumors about all these QBs we need to trade for? Like, period. Why aren't we just giving Trask a shot? So before we talk about Trask,
Hmm.
you know what? Let's do that. Will Trask get a shot or not? Because there's a plethora of big names that just keep coming out of the woodworks left and
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
What do you think about that?
No, when you look at the roster, I think in an ideal situation, Kyle Trask is your quarterback this year. I think that's an ideal spot because just the way that quarterback options out there and what you'd have to give up, mortgaging the future, also like the free agents, not a really good crop. Plus, Kyle Trask has a year in this system. He's probably going to be best suited to run this system efficiently because he knows it. Um, and I think that's why you have to go with, or at least give him an opportunity. But at the same time, they're going to bring in competition. It's not going to be just handed to him. So there is going to be competition there, and with a second round pick already invested in him, you would like to see him make that next step this year and really take on um, the starting job because that would be the best thing for the Bucks going forward down the road. Because then you don't have to invest more into your quarterback. You find answers about Kyle Trask, and if he's not your guy, then you move on to a better 2023 draft that has more options for the quarterback position or free agency for that matter, which is much better suited to get a guy there.
Yeah, so Bud's right on the right track right here. Use Trask and strengthen the team offensively and defensively. So
That's where I am, man. I'm
jumping
the
off
same
what,
boat.
yeah, adding to that. So you drafted Trask last year. Let's keep that up. Trask, like you said,
Mm,
is at a year in the system. The players are saying he's dedicated. He's grinding. He's doing his thing. We haven't seen shit. Yeah, clearly. The thing is, help him out as much as you can this 1 year. Have this 1 year be a prove it. Does he
mm,
have it or does he not have it? Is he going to be Mike Glennon or is he going to be Matt Ryan? Because he's not going to be Mike Vick, not going to be Lamar Jackson. He's not going to be Patrick Mahomes.
mm,
Doesn't have the arm, doesn't have the legs, but maybe he has the smarts. Maybe he can read it. Maybe he can be Brad Johnson. He won a Super Bowl. I'm not even going to say TB12. No one's going to say that. But I'm just saying, let's see if he can play in the league. Give him every advantage possible. Give him a better running game. Get him even more weapons or get him a defense that literally will hold a team to 10, 15 points max and see if he can score with the weapons we already have, which he
mm,
should. If he can't, okay, well, the next year, what? You got Russell Wilson free agent, Aaron Rodgers free agent, Derek Carr free agent. I mean, these guys are just all going to be free agents. Why leverage your future? Like these guys are saying, you're going to need to trade 2 first rounds, 2 second rounds, 2 third round. Why leverage it? Especially when
mhm,
you don't even know. So, I mean, that is our view on this. Don't mortgage your future based on you already have someone that knows the system right now. Because if you trade for someone, they're going to have to learn too. Tom Brady had to do it. You saw how he got better throughout the year. Not
mhm.
everyone's Tom Brady. Not everyone's as
Yeah.
dedicated as Tom Brady. So it's not the same thing. So I'm in the same way as Bud and you. I mean,
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, just to, I know a lot of people looking at, okay, let's go out and get a Russell Wilson, let's go out and get a Aaron Rodgers, and you know, yeah, that would be great to go out there and get one of those big names, but it's gonna be very difficult to do so. First of all, you have to look at, the contracts will be tough to carry into your cap space. The compensation will be significant because you're trading within the NFC, you're trading within the same conference. Plus, the Buccaneers play the Seahawks and the Packers this year. So, their franchises don't want to play against their old quarterbacks. And then it also puts them at a bind because who's going to be their quarterback? So it's like, it's just very difficult to, make that kind of move, especially given the status of our team, who we need to bring back, in this offseason coming up. How are we going to rework our contract situation, the cap space, all that could be manipulated, sure. But you have to put yourself at a standpoint where you're making your team better this year, but also further down the road as well. And I think if you can find out what Trask has, and even I know a lot of people don't want to see Blaine Gabbert back as the quarterback, but the guy knows the system. He can at least come in and provide competition. And you hope to God that Kyle Trask can beat out Blaine Gabbert and become the starter. And know that you didn't waste a second round pick on this guy. Because if you find out he's not your guy early, then obviously you can prepare for the next offseason where you can set yourself up, to win quickly again, whether it's a veteran free agent or another rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then trading up isn't as bad as what you're gonna have to give away for Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Because you'll probably, given the schedule this year, it's tough, no doubt about it. And you'll probably be in a range where maybe you're in that 15 to 20 area in the draft slots, and you can easily, find a way to get into the top 10 to get a quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, and this year, Jason Light said it.
Mhm.
It just isn't that blown away quarterback type that everyone's like, "Oh, I'm salivating over getting this guy."
Right.
You can't really say that in this draft. There's too many question marks, or it doesn't have arm strength, doesn't
Mhm.
move well, doesn't not accurate. Like there's a whole lot of more question marks than eye-popping attributes. So this year, clearly Jason Light planned it out. But looking at it this way, I think I may have mentioned it last time.
Mhm.
Aaron Rodgers. I know everyone's saying you have to give up arm and a leg. I just don't see how. Yeah, multiple first rounds. Okay, I understand. Hear me out. Great quarterback, great everything. He's like Tom Brady. He's a Tom Brady right now because no one else has his numbers. I feel like he has more leverage than the Packers have on him. I know
Mhm.
this isn't the NBA. NBA, there's crazy trades left and right, make no damn sense. But Aaron Rodgers, he can literally say, "Trade me or I'm going to retire. I have one more year left. I wanted to set my contract up this way so I can be traded. I choose that one. Send me there." I mean, I don't.
Yeah. No,
I
it's
think
definitely
that's the
possible.
reason it is.
Yeah, no, it's possible. And that's going to come down to Aaron Rodgers. Obviously the Packers have Jordan Love in the waiting. They, I guess they feel like he's the successor. So I mean, I think it would have to take that kind of situation where Aaron Rodgers is like really forcing his way out and puts the pressure on Green Bay to make a trade. Uh, then maybe if it comes down to that, the compensation does go down, and maybe you're only giving up maybe a first and a second or something along those lines. It just depends. And yeah,
Yeah, the Russell Wilson, I don't see him going away cheap at all.
no,
Or the newest rumor, where is he at? There it is. Who's the favorite to get this guy? Of course, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Favorite to get Kyler Murray. What is this rumor is ridiculous. Like,
yeah, I
tell
don't.
me about this one. Kyler Murray throws a ball to Mike Evans. Mike Evans says, "Oh, I always wanted to catch a touchdown from a Texas legend." And all of a sudden, he deletes his social media and, oh, he wants out. What the hell's with this? Tell me about that.
I don't know. It's probably just him trying to get, a new contract from the Cardinals. I'm sure. Um, but yeah, I don't see them going after Kyler Murray again. That would be another expensive trade. I
Hell yeah.
mean, they just drafted him. The coach for the Cardinals love him. So yeah, I don't see that happening. Plus, for me, he's just first of all, he can't see past the line of scrimmage. That's a problem for me. He's too short. Um, Great athlete, obviously. He can run around, he can make plays, he can throw the ball. anywhere on the field. Uh, but yeah, it would just be very tough for him in this Bruce Arians offense, especially when it's a lot of option routes and he has to read the field quick and processing has to be on time and all that stuff. I just don't see it. I would rather roll with Kyle Trask. I know he's an unknown, but Kyle Trask just fits the bill a little bit more for me when it comes to processing. Kyler's a hell of a player, though. I don't see that happening.
Yeah, a hell of a player. He's in the right system. I don't see why you would get the hell away from that
Yeah.
unless he wants to put his foot down for something. But I think it's being blown out of proportion. I agree with everyone in the chat. And then Tom Brady goes and does some shit like this. Happy with my decision to retire from the NFL, but never say never. Like, ah,
Yeah.
just stay
I
retired, my man. I love you, but I'd welcome
uh,
you back with open arms, but
yeah,
can't crush my emotions.
true. I mean, again, that's another reason to just continue to build up the roster, roll with the quarterback you have on the team already. And if Tom, does something crazy and decides, hey, I want to play football now, okay, we can find a way to get him back on the team before the season, and then we're in great shape. But yeah, I just all these trade rumors. I mean, even the Deshaun Watson, like people are
Yeah,
trying to, go for Deshaun. I'm like, guy's got like what 50 cases against him right now
yeah.
from
They
like
just keep
the
adding up.
whole. I mean, and you want to bring him to the state of Florida where he would get in even more trouble. Like that's not smart. I mean, we have massage parlors everywhere, and he would be in them. I mean, wouldn't it be good?
Yeah, and then Andrew's bringing this up. A talking head on Rich Eisen said if Tom comes back, it won't be in Tampa Bay. The rumor was, this is the dumbest crap, that Tom wants to go to 49ers because they're a win now team. Like the Bucks aren't a win now team. And that they would trade the rights of Tom Brady to the
Oh,
49ers
for Jimmy
for
G.
Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm like, another out of the bullshit scenario. Like,
Yeah.
when we're saying Jimmy G is our guy, I no, I would still run Trask just to see what the heck we got in him.
Mm,
And if he's trash, okay, you move forward. If he's good or showing potential, a guy that's that dedicated, he went 1 year Florida of okay to Heisman finalist. So
yeah.
he make strides like that in the NFL, you never know. I mean, I'm not a Jimmy G guy.
Mhm.
Sure as hell ain't about bringing Jameis Winston back. I'm not
Yeah,
Teddy
I
Bridgewater.
don't I don't know if you can bring up like, the upcoming free agents for this year
Sure.
for quarterback position, but I think most likely they're gonna have Kyle Trask, obviously. They're gonna have I think Blaine Gabbert will be back. They're gonna sign him to probably a 1-year deal. And then I think they might bring in another veteran um, on the free agent market. Uh,
Bring it up.
Maybe let's just take a look at that. I see the names, maybe an Andy Dalton. I don't know. I know they had interest at one point in Teddy Bridgewater. Maybe they bring in one of these guys to,
You know,
just,
man.
yeah, maybe they bring in one of them, just to help with competition. Just be a, backup option just in case.
Do you bring in Josh Rosen again?
Yeah, I don't know if they do that. But that's the route I see them taking. I know it's not the flash route. I know it's not the hot stove take, but I just don't see them making this big trade, especially when this team really isn't going anywhere for the next couple of years. So it doesn't mean you have to rush. You don't have to force this quarterback issue. I think you let the quarterback come to you and you find it um, within time. This roster is still in its prime, and I think they'll focus on
Bring him back.
keeping this core together going forward, and then also just continue to add in the draft and continue to build up the lines and everywhere else.
But you know what the offseason is. If someone makes one little comment, oh, it's truth. Everyone believes it. I mean,
Oh yeah.
partly of it is part of it's here. Richard Sherman hints at Bucks QB plans for 2022, and he's like, "Oh no, they're going to go for swing for the fences. Where's this at? Go championship quarterback as a secret replacement." That just means a guy that can get to the championship.
Hmm.
Who? who is that? I mean, that could be any quarterback. I mean, Dilfer, when he left here, was a championship quarterback. Nick Foles won a championship. Is he a free agent? I
Yeah.
wouldn't want him if he is. But, I mean, you hear that and you think, "Oh, Aaron Rodgers." You're thinking Russell Wilson. They're
Mm,
gonna trade for these big guys. I I just don't see it. I just don't see how they can actually give up that much for them,
yeah.
and I think we're kinda making the case for Trask. Bring him back. Bring the
Mhm.
whole team back, see what you can do. Look what Joe Burrow's doing in his 2nd year.
Right.
I know he's a whole other echelon type of guy, but
Right. Right.
and
Yeah.
he just got his one weapon that he wanted, and look what the hell he's doing. They
Yeah.
already have 2, 3, 4. I mean,
I know. Yeah. Maybe somehow we can make a trade for Kyle Pitts, but
right.
you know, um, but yeah, no, but I agree with you. I don't like Andy Dalton, but I'm just saying he's the options. Tyrod Taylor would be interesting because at least he's got a pretty good arm, mobile. Wouldn't be bad. But again, it's just very limited this year. It's unfortunate, just the way it is. So it'd be tough to get someone in here of that stature, of that all-star caliber. Maybe we do look at maybe deeper in the depth charts of other teams and maybe make like a small trade. Maybe that's an option.
I mean, would I welcome a massive trade for an Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson for the win now crowd? Yeah. If that means we're gonna win championships again in the near future, yeah. But you just gotta realize 3, 4 years down the road, you're not gonna really have the same roster no more.
Yeah,
It's gonna be different.
it definitely would be different, and it would be tough because pretty much you're putting all your eggs in one basket, which is this coming year. Like really, that's what you're looking at. So it puts a lot of
And
pressure.
for
Puts a
the
lot of
Rams,
pressure. Hmm,
it's like, again, a comparison. Look at Joe Burrow and Trask for
yeah,
this year, the Bengals, and look what the Rams did. They leveraged everything
yeah,
to
and
get
they got
Stafford
there.
and Von Miller, and they're there. So,
Yeah.
which one do you wanna do, right?
Hmm.
The 2 examples right there, right in your face.
Yeah, I mean, really with Cincinnati, and it just shows like how much luck you really need in this league to get to that Super Bowl. Um, First of all, their offensive line is just not good, but Joe Burrow took just the massive leap that they needed as far as being that player, being that guy, and then obviously getting Jamar Chase on top of it, and then adding to what they already kind of had, and then the defense they made a lot of good acquisitions, free agency, draft, and then you look at just their roster and their situation going forward, they're in great shape. They have like over, I think, 50 million in cap space coming up this offseason. So really they can bolster their team even going forward because they have Joe Burrow on a cheap contract, which probably won't be for long because he's gonna make a lot of money. um, but all those other positions are in really great shape. You have your running backs, your wide receivers, defense can still grow, and I mean they made a great move by getting Trey Hendrickson, and then just continuing to add those pieces that they needed.
Yeah, but to be honest, their defense, if they can get some more on there,
Yeah,
they're gonna be a scary team. The offense is loaded. I mean,
right.
those young guys growing together, holy hell. If they can
Just
get
needs
someone to
needs
block,
some guard. Yeah, he needs some guards. Get some guards up front. They'll be all right.
but, I mean, the defense just comes in when they need to. They're not great, they just do enough. But, yeah, let's talk more about Buck football.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, the quarterback situation is what it is. You know our take. Run with Trask for a year to see what he's got. Let him play just to see what you drafted. If it's bad, okay, move on. The team itself isn't gonna give you a terrible season. I think you're gonna be competitive no matter what based on the talent that's on the team, but we're gonna be nowhere near what a Tom Brady-led team is.
Oh, no. I mean, it's gonna be tough. I mean, first of all, whoever the quarterback is this year, there's gonna be more interceptions, okay? That's just gonna happen. There's gonna be more picks, because the processing it takes for this offense to be successful is at a very high rate. So your quarterback has to be and your receivers. Pretty much everyone has to be on the same page. So really, it takes time to get that chemistry down with your new quarterback, and that's why I feel like they'll roll with either Kyle Trask or, I hate to say it, a Blaine Gabbert, just because they have they have the experience with these guys, and Blaine has been in the system for 3 years now, and he probably knows it the best. So he could have an upper hand. But ideally, you would like to see Kyle win that job or take over at some point during this season and see what you got with him. And then you can make a decision going forward and really set up your team for that next window of winning.
I mean, you're also going to expect more sacks. Let's put it that way. More
Yes.
sacks, more interceptions. Because I mean, you're looking for deep developing plays down the field. Brady would see it before it'd even be there,
Mm,
get it out early, or he would just slide and deliver it. So he's going to have to learn how to see these things faster and move if he feels pressure. We all know Kyle Trask doesn't have the most mobility, but he
mm,
has enough. Let's see. I mean, yeah, last time someone that wasn't Brady was there had 30 interceptions this offense,
yeah.
and they get a lot of sacks. I mean, Carlson Palmer's first time in it, sacks. Ben Roethlisberger, sacked. I mean, anyone that's in his first time in there's offense, that's what happens. So you're
Hmm.
getting elite, and then you're coming back to the earth right now. So don't expect the world, but don't think you're looking for trash.
Yeah. No,
For trash.
no, I agreed. I mean, so, and really, I think that's why the importance of this offseason is really making sure your offensive line is very strong. You want to have depth there, and then defensive line, I think, has to be even stronger. I think that has to be a priority. A lot of people are talking about the secondary. I think Carlton Davis is back no matter what. Um, Hopefully, Jordan Whitehead can be back. I think he was one of the best players on this team last year and has been for a while. So hopefully you can keep that group together and maybe add to it even more. Get another rookie in here or a veteran, and really try to fortify that defense. Because if that defense can be a top 10, top 5 unit, it can keep you in ball games and it can keep you
Yeah.
competitive. And the offense can still do enough because of the said players that will be back, which is Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. That that's enough right there.
Sweet.
Those 2 guys can win you games, and with the offensive line, most likely should be in place. You might have to replace Alex Kappa. I think Ryan Jensen will be back, but you look at the rest of the group, just continue to add pieces there. You can find guys in the draft to get guards or tackles, etc. I think those 2 units have to be really strong. So up front, you want to make sure you have your strengths built very good.
Well, I mean, speaking of that, Chris Godwin, you were saying he's coming back. Let's look at the free agent list.
Mhm.
This thing is not short.
No.
It's not short at all. And earlier in the chat, while we are talking all these quarterbacks, because I mean, it is a quarterback-driven league. Someone asked, what's the highest priority? Who's the biggest one you need to sign back immediately? I mean, I'd almost immediately say Chris Godwin, but then who's number 2, I guess?
Well, yeah, I mean, Chris Godwin, I think is going to get the long term deal. He's obviously, I think, deserved it, or at least, a 2 year, maybe they do a 1 year prove it. I don't know. I think they give him a long term deal regardless of the injury. Um, and then I would say next on the list would probably be Carlton. He's going to be the franchise tag, and then after that, probably Ryan Jensen, and then you just move on from there. Jordan Whitehead, I hope, is on
Yeah.
that list. And then really your question marks after that, and Dominican Sue, Rob Gronkowski, JPP, they're gonna take their time and they'll wait. They'll wait for the
Yeah.
Bucks. They'll wait on them. I would say who else is on? William Golson will be back. A lot of these guys will be back for cheap, not too expensive deals. Rojo's probably gone. OJ Howard maybe comes back. I don't know. Just have to see. A lot of these guys, though, they can sign back for relatively not expensive deals.
See, my only concern is Kappa. This is what he made last year. The
Yeah,
dude's gonna want to get paid. I mean, he was on a
he'll get a raise.
yeah. So that's why I think he's one that would leave. I mean, Jensen was already making some money. Okay, so I don't think
Mhm.
he's really gonna be cash hungry. So I think he'll just play, and he likes this place. I mean, he likes Tampa.
Mhm.
He was the one saying that locker room was insane and he loved it. Sue, he's just a smart guy. I don't know. I don't like, does he wanna keep playing? His body can do it, but
Mhm.
I don't know. Gronk, big question mark. Fournette, I think he's gone. I think Brady was his guy. Now go find the money.
Mhm.
I really do hope they bring back OJ. I'm just being honest about that. Give Trask a big option.
Yeah. I mean, they very well could, and I don't think he'll be a very expensive. You look at Cameron Brate, they're gonna have to restructure his contract or he'll be released. Um, so yeah, I mean, tight end is you look at this team's needs. I mean, right now you look at I think I think wide receivers a need, obviously running back, tight end is gonna be a need. So really, you got to refill some of the positions on offense, and then defensively, you want to address the defensive line and add more athleticism to the secondary as well. So yeah, there's a laundry list of things to do.
Like,
But
offseason wasn't big enough with Tom Brady retiring. Now you gotta deal with the rest of your team knowing he's gone and saying, "Are we good enough with what we got, or are we gonna go behind door number 2?" So many like, it's like a
yeah,
drama-filled show, and I love it.
yeah, NFL never sleeps. It's always going. We just finished up the Senior Bowl was just recently. And now you get in, obviously Super Bowl this week, and then it's you head to the end of February where a lot of these discussions will start happening, and then you have March, which is the combine, and a lot of this stuff will go down. Trade discussions, contracts, all that stuff will be sorted out well before free agency starts, which is March 16th. So I'm confident in Jason Light. He's got a great team behind him. I think they're gonna be just fine, and we'll see, what their direction is pretty soon and quickly, which is always good.
Yeah, I mean, like, the last time with the Brady stuff, you heard so much talk of, "Oh, we're looking behind door number 2, we're looking at this, looking at that." You never really heard them saying, "We're bringing Winston back."
Right.
I think you're gonna get a whole lot of more clues again during the combine when they ask these questions. Are we still looking behind door number 2, or are we gonna talk up Trask like he's our guy?
Yeah.
That's why we drafted him, right? I mean, we're gonna find out quick, like you said, and then what, come April, late April, maybe a
Mhm.
decision? We'll see, but, I mean, again, if we still have our picks and we're taking picks, yeah, we're not trading anything.
Yeah.
So we know where we're going.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, it's gonna be a wild ride, it's gonna be fun,
Yeah.
sad to start with, but, I mean, hell, it doesn't mean it's all over. You're still a team that is loaded all around. Same coaching staff, you lost your linebackers coach.
Yeah.
Levante and, Devin White get mad, but you're still loaded. I mean, that's an area where Levante is a coach. You need to worry about that. So, I mean, realistically, everyone is together. If the locker room is really that good, like they're saying it is, let's keep it
Yeah.
going,
Yeah,
right?
it should matter. I mean, obviously the big thing is, like you said, getting your coaching staff back, which is always good. You don't have to change, offensive play callers. You have, same scheme and system in place, and also gives opportunity for these coaches to get more in depth with their players and how they use their players and get a better understanding of how to do that. And I think that maturation and also learning of the player continues year in, year round. I mean, a lot of these teams that are always, look at the Patriots, for example. They were so good because they had the same people in
Mhm.
place for a long time. And it makes a difference. I mean, Tom was so good because he knew who he had every year, and they just continue to get better and better, every offseason. So I think that plays a huge part of it.
Yeah, the coaches were there, and then they draft so well, like the plug and play. Like
Mhm.
everyone's like, "Oh, next man up." Well, they would draft guys that would fit
Yeah.
the characteristics of what they wanted. Like,
Yeah,
not
I
this,
think
that's a guy we don't want. This is a guy we want. We're not
yeah,
gonna force hold something that's not gonna work. Find the
yeah,
guys that fit in your scheme.
yeah, I think we can all agree, like, we know what the Bucks like, for their players now, to fit the scheme. Receivers, we like big, 6'2", 6'3" guys that can run fast and catch the football. You also like some, they show a ability to get these smaller guys that just have speed. So obviously they love speed at their premium positions. Corner, you got to be fast, but also have length, to play press man and do some different things. Linebackers, you want speed, guys that can hit. Defensive line, it has to be big and take up space, right? And then the edge rushers need to, win their one-on-ones and be athletic to do different things. So, a lot of people are talking about quarterback, and I think, me and you have talked about this. We've shown it in our film studies that, guys, if you haven't checked out yet, we are starting our draft process, and we're trying to get as many prospects out as we can. We did, I think we had like 4 or 5 guys out last week, just talking different people. But I think personally, our biggest need going into this offseason is edge rusher, finding a pass rusher that can get after the quarterback. Because when you look at the 2020 season, the defense could win with the front four. And this past year, we just really couldn't do it because JPP was pretty much, he was gone. I mean, he had a bum shoulder, couldn't play. JTS showed flashes, but they didn't really use him enough because he just wasn't ready, to be honest. He just wasn't ready yet. I think it's coming. And then Shaq is Shaq. He was still very good, but teams knew how to take him away. And so I think that's why we got to find an edge rusher. And Mark, I think you'll agree that has to be the focus, especially coming up in this draft, because it's a strength. There's a lot of good edge rushers, and I think you can find a couple.
100%. I mean, we discussed that immediately after the season ended. I'm like, every time we're losing games or allowing teams to be in the game that shouldn't be, like the Jets game, there was no pressure. You rush 4 and try and do the man on the outside, and it wouldn't work. Why? Because your 4 wasn't getting in. Like you said, Shaq, people know he's good. He's a technician, but he's not a pure speed edge rusher. You can double him and take him out. Then you rely on JTS, a rookie. Although he has speed, he just couldn't win consistently. JBP had all those damn injuries, and he just looked slower. He did. Vita Vea and Sue, they were doing their things, but still, it wasn't consistent. And I know this defense, like you were saying, it's built for big guys in the middle, occupying linemen so that linebackers can get in there in the A gaps, stop the run that way. It's always stop the run first. But if they can get an elite edge rusher and win with just 4, you're looking at a whole other defense. You can do that playing man like they want to. They want to do that.
Yeah.
Get a guy that can enforce that, whether it is through a trade. Hey, why aren't we talking trade of like looking for a veteran trade?
Right.
A defensive end rusher. Like
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I mean,
don't look for a quarterback, look for an edge rusher.
There is good free agents in edge rusher this year. I mean, I don't know if they could pull it off, but I mean, Chandler Jones would be awesome. I mean, bringing in someone like him, or, I'm sure there's other guys out there. But when you look at the draft, and, obviously that's where you want to find your pass rushers. It's loaded. I mean, there's a lot of good edge rushers available, especially, where the Bucks pick. There could be, a guy there. So we're gonna
we're putting these videos out. I mean, we put out 2 already. 2 we really like top tier. Guys are saying, "Oh, he's not going to be there. Not going to be." You never know. How the hell did we get JTS last year? I know it was a weird year, but still, teams have needs. I mean, did you think Jamar Chase was going to get picked by the Bengals? Everyone thought, "Oh, get him offensive lineman." No, I got this guy. I'd rather have this guy. So I mean, people fall in love with certain players, and if you don't fit that area, who the hell knows? I mean, plus some of these guys have 1-year wonders, and teams are like, stay away from it. You never know. I mean, we're not picking 32. We're 27. So
27.
Nearly all the way at the end. And Jason Light does like to trade up, so you never know. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, the draft is always, you don't know. I mean, these, like you said, guys have preferences, and usually they know who they want, and that's who they're going to go after. But I'm sorry, Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah, that would be funny. But yeah, the draft, I think edge rushers, obviously we're going to show that in our film studies coming up. We're going to focus on that, but also, just all the top talents that are coming out this year, wide receivers, running backs. We'll show the quarterbacks as well. Pretty much try to cover all the positions and just give you a lot more draft profiles so you guys know who these players are, and also it just helps us, talk more educational about the draft coming up, especially I believe hopefully we can do another live stream for the draft
Yeah.
like we did last year. And who knows? I'm not sure if we're going to be there in Vegas. I don't know if that's possibility this year, but we'll see.
Yeah, jumping on what you were saying, everyone kind of writes in there, "Oh, that's not a Buccaneer type." We're not necessarily looking at just Bucks. We're looking at the whole talent of everyone in the draft, seeing what is the new type of player coming into the league. I mean, this is how we learn, is our opponent really that good based off of guys we really liked coming into the draft? If they're loaded with the guys that I know, that's a bad deal. I mean, that means it's a good team. So I mean, this is why we like doing this. It's not just, yeah, we're humongous Buccaneer fans, but the game itself, it's just so fun to watch. And when you see someone just dominate someone else, it makes the game that much more appreciative.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, for sure.
yeah, but let's see. So if we get a good edge rusher and JTS can progress, I think we can contend. 100% agree.
Hmm. Yeah.
100%. Like I just said, if your front four can win consistently, that means everyone in the back end, way easier job. Way easier job.
Hmm.
So give me some consistent winners on the edge, not just manufacturing a pressure by delay blitzing Devin White or forcing him in a hole that he can't consistently go against a guard every time. I mean, Todd Bowles is great. He's a mastermind. Like every defensive player will say it, but he shouldn't have to manufacture things. He
Yeah.
should just, my guys are winning. And we had that, like you said, in 2020, 2021, didn't do it.
Hmm.
Didn't do it at all.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. And, you know, a lot of us were upset, after that Rams loss. And, we just want to look at that one play. And yeah, you can do that, but you got to look at it as a whole. And the
Yeah.
season, you know, the pass rush just wasn't there a lot of the times. And it puts your secondary in a bind. And then your secondary wasn't together all year. That hurts. And you're not comfortable playing zone like you usually would be if they're together for the whole year and they have that communication down. So there's inconsistencies there. And then, pass rush, the guys coming in and out just weren't really winning like they should have. But again, that's something that needs to be developed this offseason. And I hope they continue to add to the defensive line because really they got to get more athletic up front. I think that's their biggest area that I see. Sometimes they were just too slow up front. They got to be a little bit faster, especially interior. I think the defensive line could use some more athletic guys up there where they can rotate with Vita Vea and also work alongside of him and cause some more problems for these offenses up front.
Yeah, you were saying he needs to play more.
He does. He does need to play more. He had his best year as a pass rusher. He had 48 pressures on the year, 4 sacks. He needs to be in there on third down at least, more than not.
You paid him to be like that, so let's see it. I mean,
Yeah.
a guy that gets played that well,
At least 50% of the snaps, he's gotta be in there, so.
jeez. I mean, wild ride, guys. I'm excited. I'm ready.
Mhm.
Either way, there's a new quarterback that's going to be on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers starters. Who do you guys want? Let us know in the comments. But you know what our take is. It's,
Yeah.
you took him. Let's see what he's got. Other than that, plus any last take.
No, no, I think, and again, I promise, guys, our voices will be better as we move forward. We're just suffering from, again, Florida weather, this up and down, and then also allergy season, which is really killing me. I got congestion all over the place, so that's why I sound like this. Mark voice went out Monday, and he's trying to get it back. So,
Trying, trying.
yeah, we're getting in shape ourselves, so we'll get in shape as we go along here for the off season because yeah, it's gonna be a wild ride.
We'll try and
Uh,
play more than 50% of the snaps.
but yeah, I mean, Kyle. I think Kyle's the way to go. Got to go with the rookie that you invested in last year. He was the plan going forward. He's the future as of now, and I think it's best to just build up this team, build up your roster, bring guys back that you want to bring back, um and go from there.
And we'll break down more. I mean, we already did break down Trask. So guys, if you haven't go look at that. We broke down
Mhm.
his preseason. We broke down his film before he even stepped foot in a Buccaneer uniform. I mean, go check that out. Look up Real Bucs Talk, Kyle Trask. He fits what this offense wants to do. It's just, does he have the arm to push it there? That's the only worry I have. The headspace, I think he has it. It's,
Mm.
does he have the arm velocity to get it there? Especially when these guys move a little faster.
Oh yeah.
And the sideline's a little bit closer. So mistakes can be made. And this offense asks a lot on the quarterback. So let's see. You never know. Other than that, plus send us out.
All right. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate all of you in the chat. Again, thank you so much for joining us here on a Wednesday evening. Again, a little surprise. Usually we're Mondays, but live streams are going to be a little less few, during the off season. We're going to try to really push out the draft content. Also, maybe some free agency content as well. And, obviously if there's a big announcement or news, we'll try to come on, here live and discuss it with you guys. But with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give us a like, subscribe if you haven't, and as always, go Bucks. And till the next one.
Have a good one, y'all.